3 years ago today was the last day that we know of that anyone saw New York State teenager Brittanee Drexel alive. But tonight there's new information about a person of interest in the case.
Drexel was 17 at the time, visiting Myrtle Beach from Rochester, New York for spring break. She was most recently seen on the evening of April 25th, 2009, leaving the Blue Water Hotel on South Ocean Boulevard. 3 years and countless searches later, neither she nor her body have been found, and no one has ever been charged in connection with her disappearance.
News 13's Mason Snyder has covered this case for years now, including search efforts in Myrtle Beach as well as in Georgetown and in Charleston County. He joins us right now live from Ocean Boulevard in Myrtle Beach. And Mason, I understand that you have new information tonight about a person of interest in the case, but this isn't the first time that you've told us about this guy, right?
Yeah, you're right, Bob. We first told you about Raymond Moody last August. Today I got a hold of a traffic ticket that indicates that Moody was pulled over by Surfside Beach Police in Surfside the day after the Brittanee Drexel went missing in Myrtle Beach. Now, that's pretty interesting because last August when I was down in Georgetown, I spoke with Moody, and I also spoke with Moody's girlfriend, who told me when I asked her if she and Moody were anywhere near Myrtle Beach at or around the time that Brittanee went missing, she told me that they hadn't and that they never come up towards Myrtle Beach. Now, taking a look at Moody's record, he's got quite a past. He's a registered sex offender for things that happened while he was out in California, in which he was charged with committing a lewd act on a minor under the age of 14. He also was charged with sodomy with a child under the age of 14, rape, and kidnapping to commit rape. Now, for those charges, he went to prison for 20 years. Last August, Georgetown County Police and the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division searched an apartment that they say that Moody lived in at or around the time when Brittanee went missing. Of course, we were down there covering that as well. The apartment was at the Sunset Lodge Hotel in Georgetown, which is pretty close to the cell phone tower where Brittanee's cell phone last gave off signal. Like I told you before, I met up with Mr. Moody back then at his work. I asked him if he knew anything about the disappearance of Brittanee Drexel.
Do you know anything about the missing teenager?
No, I do not.
Can you tell us where you were back in April of '09?
Goodbye.
Ray, can we talk to you for a minute, real quick?
You know what? I'm going to call the police in a second. You better split.
Can you just tell us where you were in April of '09?
I got nothing to say to you. You understand that?
Of course, the group of people who wants the most answers to this entire case is the Drexel family. I'm told that they are vacationing down in Florida. You know, they tell me even though this has been 3 years now, they're not giving up. They say they're waiting things out until this case gets the break that it needs.
She's my daughter. I have to do what I have to do for her. I have to be her voice now, so I'm going to do whatever it takes to find my daughter.
Gonna go, Bob. The family, every time around this year, you know, it's a hard time for them, as you can imagine. So, like I said, they're down in Florida this week, just trying to take their minds off of things as much as they can. Bob?
Let me get back to Mr. Moody for a second, Mason. Once he was named a person of interest in the case, did the authorities go back and search his car that he was driving when he got that ticket in Surfside?
Actually, Bob, we learned today after we got that ticket from Surfside Beach that he wasn't driving a car. He was actually driving a Harley-Davidson motorcycle, which you can imagine would be a pretty small area to search, much smaller than a car, of course. As far as where the case stands today, Mr. Moody hasn't been named a suspect. Again, he is being called a person of interest by police at this time. Bob?
All right, News 13's Mason Snyder live in Myrtle Beach. Thanks. We'll continue to follow the story for you, of course. And Brittanee Drexel's family will be in Myrtle Beach this week to mark the 3rd anniversary of her disappearance. The family, as Mason said, is in Florida right now, but the family will be here on Saturday. Family members plan to plant a tree in Brittanee's honor at Market Common. The Q Center for Missing Persons out of Wilmington sponsors the event. Count on coverage of that event right here on News 13.